Okay, welcome to DMPT 1020 Introduction to Photography. This course is held online, and so we're going to go walk through the course so you know where everything is. The first thing you should see is the announcements page. I'm going to encourage you to read through these as soon as you have access to the course and get comfortable and familiar with the course as soon as possible, because there's some really important information in here. I will mostly communicate with the class as a whole collective through announcements. I encourage you to check them at least once a day. I tend to post at least sometimes once a day, depending on what's going on. Sometimes 2 to 3 times a week. So you want to make sure you're checking your announcements. Below that is you're going to see the syllabus and no-show assignment. And this is where the course syllabus is located, and you will need to read the course syllabus. It's not very long, it's only a couple pages, but it's important that you read through and become familiar with information in the course syllabus, because as you know, we expect you to know what's in it. Here is the no-show participation assignment. Make sure you get that completed by the deadline. And then there's a work ethics assignment below that. Okay, below this is the course content. And this is where the bulk of the material is for the course. It's for everything that you're going to need for completing the course, including the textbook, what the textbook looks like, the rubric. I will use this to give you feedback. There are camera apps, a section on camera apps, tells you how to transfer data from your phone to your computer if you're using an Android phone and a Mac, because it's not as straightforward as I think pretty much all other configurations work pretty easily. The main thing you can do is email yourself your work from your phone to your school email account and then download it, because you have access to your OneDrive, and there you can upload as much data as you want on your OneDrive and then access it from there too. So it acts like a cloud storage. You're going to start with assignment 1. We will not be doing these weekly labs that you see here because we're not going to be able to get together to do those. These lecture PowerPoints are only here as notes. The videos, the lecture videos that you're going to go through refer to these PowerPoints. You can pull a transcript, you can see text on the videos. That's where you want to go for the text that accompanies these. These are just strictly here for those of you who want to see the images larger, slower, want to be able to click on the links. It gives you access to have those individually and go through them at a slower pace. Software, Lightroom. You'll hear me reference these things, and these are connections for that. And then photo shoots. We have 6 photo shoots and a final photo shoot. For each one of these photo shoots, you're going to go inside a folder. And it will tell you what the assignment is. And it'll also tell you which videos that you're going to want to go see. Just gives you some information. Examples, all kinds of stuff. So make sure you go through all of this before you get started. Make sure you go through the PowerPoints, go through the videos, go through all the folders, everything in the folder, read the assignment very carefully before you get started. One of the biggest things I see is that students get started working on assignments without really understanding what's expected. It's really important to make sure you know what you're supposed to be working on. Okay, and then this would be where you submit your work. And it's that way for all the assignments. Now, if you go to the calendar, you're going to see all your assignments on the calendar with the time that they're due. So that will help keep you organized. Course messages, you can email me through here, or you can email me through Outlook. And then you will have your grades, and this will show you what your grades are. If I click on this, I get nothing because I'm not oh, there we go. So this shows me, if I click on this, this shows me all the assignments that are due, when they're due, and if you have, once you get grades, it'll give you the grades over here. So this is one good way to keep up with your assignments, so you can see what you have due, when it's due. Okay, and then of course if you go to the gradebook, it will show you your grades. So that is basically it, basically the layout of the course. Most of what you need is going to be under course content. If you have any questions, you can contact me either through the course messages or through email. Okay, and this is a very fun class. And one thing I do want to tell you is that I tend to do this class differently than most instructors. A lot of instructors will teach you ISO, shutter speed, and aperture first. I actually teach composition first, and then in photography too, we talk about the other things. And it's because as a student, I remember being very overwhelmed by what ISO, aperture, and shutter speed did, what they were. It was all this vague, nebulous stuff that made no sense to me until I started taking pictures. And so I found that once I started taking pictures, then it started to make sense to me in a way that I could then apply to my work. So for this class, we're going to focus mainly on composition. And then in photography too, I'm going to teach you how to use the DSLR. Or you could still use a camera app for those. They make camera apps so great now. They're almost as good in so many ways and getting better. But we'll go into the technical stuff in the next class. This class, we're going to focus mainly on getting your composition right. Okay.